The wind was cold that afternoon in a small town outside Denver, Colorado. Cars passed quickly along the busy highway. Most drivers focused on their own problems and their own destinations. Near the corner of a gas station sat an old man on a worn wooden bench. His name was Walter. Walter was 82 years old, thin and fragile, with deep wrinkles across his tired face. His gray beard was messy, and he wore a faded brown coat that looked far too light for the cold weather. In his shaky hands, he held a small cardboard sign. Written with a black marker were simple words: "I am sick. I have no money. Please help. God bless." Most people glanced at him for a second, then kept walking. A few dropped a coin. Many didn't even look. Walter lowered his head. His chest hurt every time he coughed. The doctor at the free clinic had told him weeks ago that he needed medicine and proper food. But medicine costs money, and Walter had none. Years ago, he had worked as a truck driver across the United States, long roads, long nights, and thousands of miles behind the wheel. But after an accident and years of health problems, he lost his job, then his apartment, and eventually almost everything. Now he was just another homeless old man people passed every day. As the afternoon sun slowly dropped lower in the sky, Walter whispered quietly to himself, Maybe tomorrow will be better." Just then, a deep rumbling sound echoed down the highway. Home! A black motorcycle rode past the gas station. The rider slowed down slightly as he noticed the old man holding the cardboard sign. The biker wore a black helmet and a leather jacket covered in road dust. He rode a large Harley-Davidson touring bike. His name was Mike, a 38-year-old construction worker who loved riding on weekends. Mike rode about 50 feet past the gas station. Then he stopped. Wow. Something about the old man didn't feel right. Mike turned his motorcycle around and slowly pulled into the parking lot. He parked beside Walter and removed his helmet. Walt said kindly, "Are you okay?" Walter looked up slowly, surprised someone had stopped. "I'm trying to be," he answered weakly. Mike sat down next to him on the bench. "Are you sick?" Walter nodded. "Doctor says I need medicine and warm food, but I don't have money." Mike looked at the cardboard sign again. Then he looked at the old man's shaking hands. Without saying anything, Mike pulled out his phone and took a photo of the sign, and Walter sitting beside it. He posted it in a local biker group with a short message. 82-year-old sick homeless man outside Denver gas station. If anyone is riding today, maybe we can help. Mike didn't expect much, but within minutes his phone began buzzing. Messages, comments, riders asking where the old man was. Mike looked at Walter and smiled. "Sir, you might not be alone today." About 20 minutes later, the sound of motorcycles returned. One bike pulled into the parking lot, then another, then 3 more. Walter watched in confusion as leather-clad riders parked their motorcycles nearby. Some were young, some were middle-aged. A few had gray beards and old riding patches. Within an hour, over 50 bikers had arrived. The once quiet gas station was now filled with motorcycles. Engines cooled with soft ticking sounds. Boots stepped across the pavement. One woman biker walked up to Walter and gently handed him a warm cup of coffee. Another rider brought a hot sandwich from inside the store. Someone else placed a thick winter blanket over his shoulders. Walter's hands trembled as he held the warm coffee. What is all this?" he asked. Mike smiled. "It's called the biker family." Another biker stepped forward holding a small envelope. "Sir, we all pitched in." Inside was over $1,200 in cash. Walter's eyes widened in disbelief. "Why would you do this for me?" he whispered. A tall biker with a gray beard answered simply, "Because nobody deserves to fight life alone, especially not someone your age." Walter's eyes filled with tears. Tears. For the first time in months, he felt warmth, not just from the coffee or blanket, but from the kindness around him. Before leaving, the bikers helped Walter arrange a temporary stay at a nearby motel and promised to check on him again. As the riders prepared to leave, Mike shook Walter's hand. "Next time you see motorcycles," he said with a grin, "remember, you've got 50 friends out there." Walter wiped his eyes and smiled through the tears. For the first time in a long time, the old man didn't feel invisible anymore. Because sometimes when the world feels cold and empty, a few kind hearts can arrive like thunder on motorcycles.